Good morning. It is 7:26 a.m. and let me move this cable so I don't have to keep ducking my head to look at the clock. 7:26 a.m. on Thursday, January 13th, 2022. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. My busy week at work is going mixed. Like some promising things, but also some things not going how I would have preferred. I did test negative on another COVID test, though. It's just a precautionary one. I'm not feeling symptomatic or anything. I did, however, just play Wordle again, and I need to, I think, stop allowing myself to play it first thing in the morning because if it's one that I have trouble with, I end up wasting a lot of time that should be spent getting ready for work, as I did today. Today, I had to actually I was really faced with a dilemma of I just I was on my last guess. I just couldn't think of a word that would fit, and I had to decide whether or not to, either just a leave it unfinished until later, which of course was always an option, even though my brain somehow acts like it's not, or throw away a guess just to find out the answer and break a streak, or cheat by looking up word lists. Like, I didn't look up the solution, but I looked up, like, words that end in blank blank, for example. And, yeah, so that got me there. But, you know, I needed a hint on that one. And, and then that's fine. Like I don't begrudge people using hints and that sort of thing. It's not a competition, but at the same time, uh, I could have done that later in the day when it wasn't making me late for work. And I think that's the important takeaway here is not that I needed a hint, but that I shouldn't be playing word puzzles that will absorb all of my focus when I should be getting up and moving around and doing things. I've done a bit more of Supernatural Fitness, which is this VR fitness program on the Oculus Quest, and I'm digging it. I've done a handful of them now, trying to kind of get on a schedule for those, and it's good. It's fun. I like it. I think that I'm gonna keep going with that for a bit, and see if I can get in a good routine with it. It certainly makes a difference of me kind of struggling with how to get back into an exercise routine after my last one was interrupted by the pandemic, and then spending all of that pandemic time without really having a solid exercise routine. So, and yeah, so that's good. Hopefully, I can stick with this one for a little while. I'm enjoying it so far for sure. And then I also, what else did I do yesterday? Because I just, I feel like I had a relatively sort of chill, relaxing evening, but I did more than just that workout. I think I just kind of took my time with stuff. Watched some TV. I played some video. You know what I'll talk about is I allowed my evening last night to be kind of a blur, but I will just kind of toss in here at the end that I've gotten into the Blank Check podcast, which is sort of a movie podcast by Griffin Newman and David Sims. But in particular, I've jumped in not with their latest stuff, but by going back to the beginning where they have multiple episodes, each of them more than an hour in length, where they're only talking about Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, and they're absolutely committed to a bit where they're pretending that Star Wars: The Phantom Menace is the only Star Wars movie. Which is very silly. And yeah, so I described it to someone else as a glorious bit of film nonsense and elegant time wastery. But yeah, it's kind of funny to take a movie like The Phantom Menace, analyze it to death, but with specifically tying one hand behind your back in terms of your analysis by pretending that there's no other stories to uh, give it context, which is kind of fascinating as an experiment, and for them to have spent upwards of 10 hours um, doing that is kind of hilarious. And so I've enjoyed those. And then, of course, that podcast continues on with talking about lots of other things, but that's kind of how it starts, and I have been amused by that. So I'm going to leave it there, and I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.